Hi there, this is Snow City Tarot, and I am here with your pick a card reading for the week. Maybe I'll do another one, I don't know. I still haven't figured out how to use Da Vinci yet, so hopefully I'll get to that soon. Unless you guys like watching like this, I can film a lot faster and a lot easier like this, but I know a lot of people like to see the cards, so I don't know. If you guys want to let me know what you think of this, because I can get videos to you like at least like 80% faster, like the render time is so much lower. Yeah, anyway, let me know what you think about that. But today's topic is going to be what's next in love, so this will be good for you know, people that are single, people that are looking, people that have a crush in mind, see if they come up, like see if something's going to happen with that. This should be good for all of those things. Of course, I want you to take each reading with a grain of salt, just in case you hear something that you're like, oh, I don't like that, or oh, that's, you know, not for me. Like, that's okay, because you're sharing this reading. That's what these are, shared readings. So you really don't know what is for you and what is for, you know, someone down the street, you know, whoever's watching this. So just be careful of what information you get. As always, I do encourage people to get private readings with me for something that is personalized to you. Mine start at $10, and you can find those on my Etsy shop. So today you'll have 4 options to pick from, and hopefully I can get them on the screen maybe. We'll see. Hopefully I do. I'm going to look like a complete dork. Anyway, though, I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth and pick one of those options I have hopefully given you. And yeah, and when you've picked, you can see the timestamps in the description box below, and you can fast forward to those and get your readings. So with that said, I will see you there. Okie dokie, clubs people. Let me get my spread up here. That's what I wanted. Okay. So, clubs people, let's take a look for what is next in your love life. We're going to look a little bit at your situation currently, and then from there we will check to see what the future holds for clubs people. Hopefully I'm not blowing out my sound with the shuffling. Clubs people. What's coming in love for them? Okay. Let's see here. Well, to start with, I see you in the Fool's energy here. So, Fool's energy, as to where you kind of are coming from, basically it looks like either you were free to begin with, or you're sort of cut yourself loose recently, and now you're able to kind of go out and try new things, test the waters, and this is kind of where you're coming out of right now. So it seems to be that this might be a bit of a long process for you. You might have been searching for a while. Let's take a present for the clubs people and the future in love for the clubs people. Okay. So, current energy is the Page of Swords. So this can actually be like doing a little bit of research. You could be doing, one time I saw this one for a client, and I told her, I go, I think that you might be going onto YouTube and maybe looking up tutorials perhaps on like how to do, you know, makeup or your hair or something. And that one felt like a shot in the dark, but she was like, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. But yeah, this can sometimes mean that you're doing a little bit of research on the people that you're interested in dating, research on yourself, what you want to do, self-exploration. And it really looks like you're in that energy of self-exploration for sure, because this is where you're coming out of. And I feel like this is a much more developed energy with the Page of Swords, because it's like you're open and willing to learn, and it's like you're doing a lot of good work for yourself. You're kind of like even taking it beyond, you know, just in improving your aesthetics. You may be looking at yourself in a very analytical way where you're thinking, why do I do that? Well, maybe I'll try not to do that in the next time the next time that I see somebody. And it can be really helpful, for us. Like, sometimes it's like if you look at yourself and go inward on yourself, then you start to attract other people in, because then you realize, oh, I'm not just like a free body just floating around in the world. I actually affect other people, so it's like you kind of taking self-awareness to the next level in a way. So it's actually pretty good. Regardless, you're doing a lot of research. You're looking into a lot of different things. With this, you could also be messaging people as well, like actually putting yourself out there and like saying, hey, I like you. You look awesome. Want to go out? So it's great. Honestly, this looks like a really nice energy to be in. Can you clarify the Page of Swords? Whoa, got lots of things. Lots of things flipping. Yes. Oh, yes. Group 1. I'm liking your energy. You've got the Wheel of Fortune to clarify your Page of Swords. This is great because it's like, well, if life isn't gonna be, making this easy, I'm gonna go and force the thing to happen. And it kind of looks like this might be the energy, and like you're saying, like, if the wheel won't turn, I'll force it. I'll make it turn. And so I think with the Wheel of Fortune, we're seeing you kind of like taking your fate into your own hands, deciding that even if you don't get what you want right now, you're at least going to be kind of investing in that energy, so when say karma or fate or stars align, you're prepared, basically. So it kind of looks like you're having fun in the meantime, and it's just like a really nice energy to be in. So what is coming in love? Now I'm going to put this one back because I didn't actually specify a time frame. I want to keep it like focused here. So let's take a look. We'll do the next 6 months and then a year. So what is coming in love for Group 1 for the next 6 months? Okay, that's good. So that's the Sun. So even if this doesn't, usually, in most cases, this represents success. This represents happiness. This represents positive changes, positive things that have happened. It also means that you've kind of embraced your personality as well. So even if you don't like run into somebody right away or get involved with somebody, what's coming next in love is going to be mostly based off of this healthy self-esteem, this healthy ego, healthy self-interest. So, you may be in a really mature energy where you can sort of decide, no, I don't really want that. Yes, I want that. And, if I have to break a few hearts, I'll do it. But, not be a jerk about it. It's like a perfect understanding of who you are and what you want out of your relationships and what you want out of life. And it's just a really positive energy to be in the next 6 months. So because this is broad, this energy could mean that you are attracting things in. So so some of you, maybe you're just going to be developing your personality or self-esteem in this direction. For others, you may be like attracting in energy using the power of the sun, so you could be just radiating energy, radiating positive vibes, so you and the thing is you're a healthy person and you're attracting in other healthy people. I don't want to say that if you're not totally perfect that you're not going to find love. That is not the case. You don't have to love yourself 100% in order to find anyone. There are plenty of people that can love you for who you are, even if that means that you have a little bit of baggage attached. Just putting that out there. But maybe you're learning how to put stickers on that luggage, and that's where this comes from. So even if you're not like, perfectly at ease with yourself, I think that you will be putting love into this project we have, and it will start to attract the right people. And I think that's what I'm seeing with this. So let's see what's going to be like in the next year. Can we see what love is coming in? What is next in love for group 1, clubs people? What is next in love in the next year? Bingo. We got it. We got it. Ace of Coins. So I think that I feel like with this here being in the next 6 months, I think that you're going to be meeting people for sure. But because this is in the next year, I think that you'll be meeting someone that is actually like worth it, you know. So you could be loving and losing and kind of moving forward, or not even loving any of them, that's fine. But you're gonna have like pick and choose, you can pick and choose maybe, and say they don't work out, or say you're like, I'll take a break, I'm not really feeling the energy. I'm seeing that this is just a casual energy, but after that rest phase, or after that phase of discovering what you want, or telling some guys to shove off, you don't really like them that much, we have the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is like, oh, I've just met this person. Oh, I like them a lot. Oh, I'm going to put something down here. Like, oh, I'm going to put my money down on this. This looks like this is where it's at. And so I'm seeing that you're probably going to be finding someone, we'll say, well, let's see, what's 6 months from now? Everyone get to watch me do math on my hands. 6 months from now, October, November, December, January, February. Did I miss a date? February, March. So so around March, you'll start to get serious on things. So this could happen anywhere from March onward. So just keep that in mind. And if this is not a timeless, it is a timeless reading. So for those of you that are watching off cycle, 6 months from whatever month you're in, okay? But yeah, I'm seeing some positive things here. So I feel like because I am seeing something good here, I feel like I might need to just get a few clarifiers as to who this person might be. Who is this person we're seeing with the Ace of Coins? 5 of Wands. One moment. Who are we seeing with this person's Ace of Coins? 2 of Coins. Okay. This person is going to be kind of like a practical, everyday person. So, I got the 5 of Wands, and then I got the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands is kind of like your ordinary sort of day, balancing checkbooks and getting errands done, and finishing, or not finishing, but typing your papers up and doing pretty average run-of-the-mill everyday stuff. And 5 of Wands, while it can talk about like conflict and things like that, this could be talking about somebody that may be rather competitive, or they could also be somebody that competes with a bunch of other people, and that's how you see them. So maybe you guys, if you work together, you could be competing against each other, like say it's like a sales thing, or you could be working in a group together, and you all have to kind of clamor to represent the group as a whole a little bit better. So I think that this is probably the type of situation we're looking at. So I feel like, though, that with both of these cards, I do think that it's kind of like an everyday sort of ordinary situation. I don't think that this person is going to come out of the sky and be some kind of surreal thing. This looks like a nice, healthy person coming into your world while you're ready and they're ready. Like, there's no damage attached to this. Like, they're not rebounding, you're not rebounding. It just looks good. I love mundane, ordinary cards. Honestly, you don't always want the major arcana, because those usually indicate that there's some kind of big deal, like big karmic thing going on. And this just looks nice. 5 of Wands, though, we're seeing some kind of competitive thing. because we do have Two of Coins here, though, also we've got that sort of juggling motion. With Two of Coins and the Five of Wands, it actually might mean that you have a pick, like I said, like a pick of what you want. So yeah, it kind of looks like you get to pick, or other people kind of will be competing for you around this time. It could be one or two people. It could be five. You never know. You're all going to be a little bit different, but yeah, these look very good. Very basic, sort of ordinary things. So you could be finding them through standard, your standard places of dating, your standard dating places, or your standard work environment, or some kind of aspect that you go through every day on your way to work, things like that. So it's not going to be, it's not going to be like you're going to see him one day on the street corner for like 5 minutes, and if you don't jump on that, then it's over. You're never getting that opportunity again. Like, you don't have to worry about this, because I think this person will be around. Actually, they're probably around now even, but maybe you just haven't considered them yet. But of course, yeah. I mean, if you want specifics, more specifics here, you can always get a reading with me. I got them starting at $10 on my Etsy shop in the description box. I'm going to take one card of advice just to kind of set you in a direction for the next 6 to 12. So what is good advice for clubs people? High Priestess. Basically, I mean, the advice with High Priestess is usually like trust your intuition. So if you know that something's happening, or you're like, you may be in between worlds in the sense that you're like, deep down, I feel there is something happening, but when I look around, things don't appear to be happening. Which one do I believe? Do I believe reality, or do I believe my gut instinct? In this case, it's saying gut instinct. So if you're sitting there thinking like, oh gosh, I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting, like, is there a reason for this? Yes, you know that there's a reason for it. So don't get too tied up in whether or not you're doing things right, because you are. You're following your gut instinct here. Let's see, I'm going to take one from my Soul's Journey deck. One more card of advice for group 1, please. Let's see. It says change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So, you may want to make some changes as well. If you're thinking about if you want this to happen, and you're thinking, and maybe you're not as active as, say, some of the other people watching, this may be saying that you're ready to kind of like move towards this change. Be comfortable with change. If you're kind of just sitting there in analysis paralysis thinking like, well, if I do this, it's a waste of time, or if I do that, then it's a waste of time. But it's like, doing nothing is a waste of time. Not choosing any direction is a waste of time. So this is why it's saying, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So in order to see changes in your life, you're going to have to, throw a pebble into the pond and watch things change. It doesn't take much either. So if you don't have a ton of money or a ton of time, small things, very small efforts can make a huge difference. So just try to do that and then see where it gets you. In the end, doing nothing is way more useless than picking the wrong path, So I want to thank you, group 1, for getting a reading with me. I want to thank you for stopping by my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like my work. I do appreciate your support, and it does help the channel grow. Keeps me living. It's wonderful. So if you could do that, I'd be very happy. And I'm going to move on to group 2. Hey, group 2. This is for those of you that picked the Ace of Spades. Look at this lady in this awesome helmet. She's so cool. I love this deck. This is the Tokidoki bicycle playing card deck. I love it. So let's see. We're gonna look at Ace of Spades person. What is next in love? So we're gonna take a look at where you're coming from, where you're at, and then what's gonna happen 6 months to a year. Advice. and anything else that I kind of feel drawn to. So let's look at group 1's past. Where are they coming from? Oh boy. Okay. 10 of Swords. Okay. Let's see. Where are they presently, though? Oh. Ace of Swords. Or not Ace of Swords. I'm sorry. 8 of Swords. Oh, okay. Now we've also got the Moon and the Star. Don't worry, I'll show you the cards in just a moment. Yeah, let's take a look here. So where you're coming from, honestly, this looks... I mean, for those of you that know the card meanings, I'm sure you guys were like, yup, that's me. It's like you see this sort of stuff and you're like, yup. Oh, how did they know? So it does look like some kind of dismal thing happened. You may not have gotten any closure either. Sometimes this can mean that there's no closure. So you're coming out of this awful time where potentially, you know, someone just up and left and didn't tell you what they were doing or what they were thinking, and they just bailed on you. And in some cases they could have actually cheated on you. In some cases they could have just been abusive. It's horrible. The 10 of Swords though shows though the worst is over. And this is in the past. So you really can't get much more positive than that when it comes to this type of card. It's in the past. So you really don't have to worry too much about this. However, this sort of thing does come with a fair amount of challenges. Like, you know, if you've been cheated on, then now you have self-esteem issues to deal with. If the person just left and you didn't get closure, it could still be a self-esteem issue, or you could just be genuinely confused. So yeah, this is sort of like an important place to come from, but this is an ending. This is a culmination of maybe some suffering as well. Oops, I didn't mean to drop it like that. So where are you now? 8 of Swords. And this is kind of why I was saying that you may still have baggage after this event, because 8 of Swords is still sort of wringing their hands, wondering like, oh, what did I do? Did I do something? Oh my God, what if they don't like me now? What if they did this to me, then somehow maybe I deserved it. Or, you know, it's just sort of like your inner world is just nail biting, basically. Nail biting based on what someone else did to you. Somebody turned you into this, and you know that's hard in itself, is thinking that maybe you've given this person power by you know letting this happen. And it stinks because it's completely normal for people to be really self-conscious afterwards, but also know that they should be better and should do better. And it's like you're self-aware that, you know, you shouldn't let it get to you like this, because what happened to you was the result of someone else's bad behavior, and you really shouldn't be personalizing it, but you know at the same time you are. It's really impossible not to. So I do see like a lot of like the gears are turning in your head, and you're on the path to healing though. Don't worry. If you're thinking this much about things, you are on the path to healing. And actually it's kind of interesting I say that, because these two guys came out as well. We have the Moon and then the Sun, or not the Sun, I'm sorry, the Moon and the Star. For what's going on right now. So you're kind of in this winter period of your life. However, there is this underlying energy of hope. It's sort of strange, because and this is why I think that there's healing, is because the Star is here. Even though it's underneath this Moon, or it's coming along with some depression and confusion and a little bit of fear, you're really making great strides here. Things are getting better. And it may not feel like it, but I bet you have some days where you're like, wow, maybe it's over. And then the next day it'll come back and you'll be like, crap, it's not over. But maybe every day you're noticing that there's more good days than bad days. You'll notice that there's a bigger space in between nights when you're up crying, you know? So there is change happening, and you are seeing it. And though the fact that maybe you're not going fast enough, you know, and that could be why you're worried. You're like, oh, am I ever going to get over this? Is this going to be a lifelong challenge? Oh man, what's going to happen? And it's just a lot of worry, but just know, if you're currently in the present and you do have this blind spot to positivity just based on the situation and circumstances and your mindset, because stuff happens, you know. Star here is saying that she's in your blind spot maybe, but she's there, you know, so healing is around the corner. Feeling better is around the corner. Maybe you just need to look for it too, because, you know, blind spot can sometimes be our own depression. Blind spot can also be things or people or situations around us that are healing us, whether we realize it or not. Like that new hobby you got, or that person that you met online that you send memes to. There's healing happening, and it'll only grow exponentially. So let's take a look for the next 6 months. Next 6 months for group 2, please. What's their future in love in the next 6 months? What's their future in love in the next 6 months? Well, Stella's getting her groove back. We got the Magician. So even though this isn't like the Lovers or the Two of Cups or the Ace of Cups or anything like that in the next 6 months, you are going to be empowered. You're going from a very vulnerable place to a very empowered place. The Magician's all about empowerment. So, you know, for some of you, maybe you may pick up some kind of positive ritual or thing that you do. Some of you may actually perform magic. Some people may go to counseling, or, you know, pick up some new philosophy that allows them to feel more empowered. And that's what I'm seeing in the next 6 months is, you know, you're waving your own magic wand here, and you are making your life better. So even if, and you know, the thing is, I did not specify if it's going to be another person. I only said what's next in love. You may grow to love and accept yourself again. And this is where the self-empowerment is coming from. And I would not be surprised if that's what's happening. Now, you know, I don't know what I was thinking. I'll come back to it. But just know that, yeah, things are getting better. You're coming out of the Eight of Swords to the Magician. And you just have to have faith that you will get there. And if you're trying to force it and it's not working, it's because you're trying to force it. You're not ready. These things do take time. In, you know, depression and sadness and things like that. It's a disease. As somebody I go through, I've had clinical depression, and you know, I'd have to take long periods of time off of work, and I would just be feeling so guilty that I wasn't back in the saddle. And that's because it's an illness sometimes, you know, when we get, and it doesn't even mean that it's forever or that it's chronic, but, you know, sometimes, you know, emotions and the world and the way people are can make us sick. And it gets better, and it's not forever, like I said, but it's like you kind of have to readdress your views of the world, like what you thought the world was. It's almost like you're sick from like disillusionment, just a little bit. Like you had great faith in the world and your faith was denied, or your faith was shattered. And that is a really hard thing to digest. It's not, even if it's not like love related, I'm assuming for most of you it will be, just because I'm the topic, but it's a hard pill to swallow that, like, you know, you can be an upright citizen, but not everybody else will, and you can't predict that. And that's probably the scariest thing now, is like maybe this just recently happened. Maybe it was your first time you've ever experienced something like this, and now you just don't know what to think about people, or whether it's just you. Were you not playing the game correctly? You know, we can all ask those questions. So the answer is, if you're doing what makes, you know, what's authentic, and in the sense you know, follows your moral code, then it's correct. And if other people break that, it doesn't mean that you weren't playing the game correctly, you know. I hope that makes some sense. But let's take a look at the next year. So this will be 6 months onward. This is a timeless reading, so it'll be the first one was 6 months from where we are now, wherever you're watching this, and then this is going to be 6 months after that. But for those of you watching today, like the September, September 2021. This is going to be March onward. So what does group 2 have in love for March onward? What's coming their way? 6 of Wands. I like it. Oh, Knight of Coins. I like it too. So you had 6 of Wands come out with the Knight of Coins. I'm guessing this is a person. Normally these people cards indicate people. So 6 of Wands actually shows triumph, getting over some bad stuff. Basically, you had the willpower. And from the willpower, you have found your satisfaction, your victory, your feelings of accomplishment too. So your self-esteem is going to be nice. So self-esteem is going to be up, and we have a Mr. Virgo here, perhaps. This is the Knight of Coins, Mr. Slow and Steady, or Mrs., whoever you're looking for. The gender doesn't necessarily have to be what the card says. But this person could be in their 20s to mid-30s. I usually see these guys as the 20s to like 35, and then 35 on is like king. So this person is probably still a student, maybe. They are, or they're working on a master's program, or they've already got a job, and they're just kind of climbing the ladder. But I'm seeing this, though, as this person coming in for you. This person will have a personality that is very careful, slow and steady. We have Virgo traits as well, so they may be somebody who's focused on, hard work, practicality, and I think this person could also be like an upright, honest individual as well, because Virgo is Virgo is a caring sign. It wants to make people feel good, feel happy, through service, and I think that this is someone who might be very devoted to you, may like to fix things, may like to fix cars, may like to, and if it's like, even if they work in, say, like something else like banking or IT, this person could be working, like as a hobby. This person could fix things, like to tinker, so this is the person that people call when they don't want to pay for a professional. So this person might be out giving acts of service to their friends, being super kind to them. This person is also very focused on the future. This is it's a mutable sign. So, and with the knights, it means they're headed towards a goal, but it's very slow going. But that's because it's carefully planned. God, that is a loud helicopter. Can I do something about this? I don't want to close my window because it's a pain in the ass. Anyway, but this is slow going energy, and it's because this person probably has like a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, So when you meet them, they may be the type that are actually looking to find a life partner in some kind of way. So even could be looking, to seriously date for marriage purposes. So I think that you're kind of win big here. If you're looking for a long-term commitment, this is your guy or girl. Let's see here. I was going to get you some advice before I sign off. Let's see here. What is the advice for the next 6 to 12 months for group 2, please? What is the advice for? Okay. 8 of Coins. Keep at it. Keep at it. Make sure that you don't let yourself get caught up in, self-deprecating or self-depreciating. I can't remember which one it's supposed to be. But, negative talk in your mind. Those things do take root, and they do grow if you let them. If it feels good to do and say those sort of things, you need to shift your focus, and try to do something else. Play a game. It's very easy to get swept up in like a cyclone of bad, negative self-talk. And it's like sometimes we do it because we feel like it's some punishment, but you're not going to feel good afterwards. You're not going to feel happier for doing that. You're not going to be benefiting from it at all. So once you catch yourself in those sorts of mindsets, just get up and leave the room. Actually, leaving the room where you're having those thoughts is usually the best course of action just to start off. So give that a shot. But this is saying keep your chin up. Keep going. Keep trying. Keep working. You're doing good work. Even if you don't have the end product right in front of your face, you are doing good work. And even though you may slip or fall or stumble, just know that this is normal. This is natural. And you are on the way. So just know, star, you may not see her, but she's with you. I'm going to take one more card here with the Soul's Journey. Can I get a card for Soul's Journey for groups 2? Oh boy, it's going to get loud. Hang on, this is going to get really loud. I like having my windows open, but there's always like some kind of dump truck coming around or something. It's not, I mean, I guess I should be happy someone's taking the trash out, but I just wish they didn't do it on my time. So anyway, we have denial. This is what came out here. And it says, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with insight of awareness. So this means that you have to acknowledge what you're afraid of and just be aware of it. You don't have to live in fear. You don't have to live in your fear to avoid it. Just know that your concerns are there. And if you have to, just write them down. You know, when you feel like you're hanging on to your own concerns over and over and over again, just write them down and then leave them. And you can tell yourself, oh, I'll remember it later, and then come back to it. You probably never will come back to it, to be honest. But that's a good solution for these sorts of problems, is just to kind of like get it out of your head. Don't let it marinate in there. So that is your reading, group 2. I want to thank you for watching. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I would be eternally grateful. I almost said internally. I'd be grateful for your support, and I hope to see you in my next videos. Bye. Hi, group 3. This is your card. You picked the heart. This is your reading. So I'm going to take a look at your past in love, your present situation, and then the future in love for the next 6 months to 12 months. If I see anybody special, I might ask some questions about them if it's not totally apparent. So stick around, and then I'll have advice. I don't know if I said advice already, but anyway. So what is the past for group 1? Group 1. Group 3. What past are they coming out of? This one wanted to hop. What past is group 3 coming out of? Clarify the 9? Oh, okay. Where are they currently? Okay. All right. Whoa. I almost dropped all this stuff. I'll start here. So, the energy that you're coming out of is the 9 of Swords. And also, to clarify the 9 of Swords, we have the Knight of Cups. So this might be somebody that you recently left behind. This could be some kind of worries, though. 9 of Swords is interesting because it's usually issues regarding sleep. Maybe you might have had a casual connection with someone. This could be a situationship, I guess, or I guess friends with benefits, maybe in some cases. But maybe you got more connected or more attached to this person than they got attached in return. So that's why I'm seeing, for some reason, I'm seeing like a sleep disorder with the 9 of Swords, and with the the Knight of Cups, I'm just thinking that might be what I'm looking at here. Issues regarding unhealthy sleep patterns, or like going out at night too late, or staying out with this person too often, or You know, maybe you're coming out of a time where you just were literally so upset about this person and whatever happened with them that you couldn't sleep at night. So we're just seeing a lot of stress coming, you know, from your past, not necessarily where you are now. But this was some pretty heavy energy that you were having to deal with. And you know, it's almost like it was maybe like heavy thoughts about this person, but also like bigger stuff, like long-term stuff, like what am I doing? Is this who I want to be? Am I, you know, do I want to let people treat me a certain way? Do I want to, you know, it's like it's kind of like it's more the negative side of contemplative, because it's almost like you might be scrutinizing, maybe. You know, and that's what keeping you up at night. So it's like, I mean, the questions are good to ask, but it doesn't feel like it was helpful, really, you know, or like it wasn't like a healthy, gentle criticism of self. It might have been like something more. That's what I'm seeing there, but that's the past. So it's in the past. Hopefully it's not continuing. And actually, I don't think it is continuing, because you've got the 6 of coins and the 6 of swords. This is great because 6s are about resolution. 5 is the conflict, and then right after that is the solution to these problems. So 6 of swords means you're kind of going in the right direction right now. You're feeling better. You're not feeling as, you know, tied to this Knight of Cups person. I don't think that you're that tied to them anymore. And you know, that Knight of Cups doesn't necessarily mean that you guys had any kind of intimate relationship at all. This could have meant that, like, they just played with you or something, and you had to come to Jesus about that. Like, how did I let myself get played? And, you know, you might have had to have those talks with yourself as well. But now I'm seeing a lot better things happening. So 6 of swords being that you're moving away from this, and it's going to be to a better place, and that is the goal. That isn't just like a, you know, oh, I hope this leads to somewhere. Like, you are actually pretty well set on your way, and you have like an actual, like, what's it called? Like a goal. Like, you have a goal that you're heading towards. With the 6 of coins, though, this one's kind of interesting to me. I want to say that it's like generosity to self, or like being kind to yourself, or this can also talk about, you know, reaping the rewards of some past efforts as well. This can talk about, like, you know, getting what you're owed for some reason. So I'm not sure, this might be more vague, and I wouldn't be able to like pick up exactly on what it is, but it's kind of like you were getting what you're owed. So, and for some reason this is making things better. So maybe you asked for an apology and you got it. Or maybe they owed you money and you got that back as well. Or, you know, maybe your way of handling these problems may have been virtuous and you're getting it paid back to you. So I think that overall your present energy is good and in the moving on stages. In fact, you know, you could very well be near the end of that journey. Let's take a look, though, in the next 6 months. What's next in love for group 3 in the next 6 months, please? What's next in love for them? Knight of Wands. It's a person. Knight of Wands. And this is a possibly a Sagittarian, man or woman, doesn't matter. This is somebody who is likely anywhere between 20 and 35. Anywhere beyond that is like a king or queen to me. So they're kind of like young adultish, almost, you know, Saturn return type time frame. Let's see. What I can say about this type of person is they're fiery. They're probably a go-getter, somebody who likes to go and fight for what they want. This is somebody that could possibly be quite creative or athletic. They could be always on the move as well. Sometimes this is taken quite literally with these knights, that this person could be in transportation or something, or maybe moving when you see them, or has something to do with actual mobility. So this could be somebody that you may run into while you yourself are mobile, so you could find them on transit or something like that. But this person is probably very passionate, fiery, has a lot of opinions about stuff, probably a little, maybe not at this stage, depending on their age. They may be philosophical or not. Sometimes I've noticed Sagittarians kind of grow into that. They like have a crazy 20s, and then after that they'll be the first person to tell you not to do any of the things they did in their crazy 20s. That's just the theme with Sagittarians that I've noticed, is they'll do pretty much anything. They'll live life like there's no tomorrow, and once they're done, they'll be like, yeah, don't do any of those things. Those were bad ideas. And so, if this person is maybe in their 30s or late 20s, they might have already come past this, they might have already moved past this stage in their life. If you're younger and this person is younger, like we're talking like early 20s, just be careful you don't get caught up in any crazy ideas. You don't have to be with this person for the rest of your life. You don't have to commit. This isn't your marriage partner. I mean they could be, but if you're like, oh, I don't like that, there could be benefits coming out of this in some ways. We meet people and maybe we don't think that they're for us, but we meet them sometimes and we're just like magnetically drawn to them, and then they get us into trouble sometimes, but they make life a richer experience because we are taken out of our comfort zone. So now I know a lot of people like to watch these and then get mad because like, I'm not gonna be with that person, blah, 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 blah. And they get very salty. And it's just like, you don't have to be with, this is the thing, this is your next partner. You may love this person like crazy, even though they are different from you, or not having the characteristics or qualities that you like. Like, this is somebody that you'll wind up with, that you'll be happy with, probably. So just have an open mind. And that's the thing, is like, I know a lot of people are like, dead set, and no, I will not be open-minded. Like, come on now, this person will be probably fine. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, but just don't take it out on me is all I'm asking. And don't think that fate is giving you a bad hand here, because every opportunity is an opportunity to learn. And if you're mad about the future, mad about what's coming at you, kind of means you got to learn more anyway, because a lot of fortune telling and future gazing has to be accompanied with an understanding of like a stoicist philosophy is kind of what you have to have with this. Not painting this bad. It's just like, I know that people don't tend to like the carefree types, and I think there's a lot of value in these types of people. I mean, I'm an air sign, so I'm heavy air, so I usually like fire people because they're just sort of like invigorating and like different. And it's, even if you're coming out of a bad spot, like, they make you think about life differently. They make you think about yourself differently. They make you go and do things that you never would have done originally. Like, they really can be quite expansive. Isn't that the key word for Sagittarius and Jupiter and things like that, is expansive. So this is a good person to be with, I think. Just, if you're worried about getting hurt, or maybe this is your type and you have a tendency to get into a situation where it's like, where you find yourself maybe being easily seduced by these types of people, then yeah, just keep your distance. But still, I think that there's something worthwhile here with this person, so just give them a chance. Let's look in the next 6 months after that. So what that would mean is, if you are watching in September 2021, we're looking at the 6 months after March. If you're watching off time, that's okay. This is a timeless reading. You can just apply 6 months and then 6 months after that. So you've got to just count, where you're at now and 6 months from there. So what is what is coming in love in the next 6 months after March? What's coming in love for group 3? Oh, come on. 10 of Cups. You're going to like this one, my friends. I think that, and that's kind of like why, and I don't know why I was explaining, like defending this person as much as I was, because I think that I needed to for some of you, because I feel like a lot of you are like in the never again, I'm not going to let anyone like that do this ever again or be like this ever again. And it's like you were experiencing the negative qualities of a person who could be like this, expressing the higher qualities. Like you can have a carefree, exciting person and not have them be completely insane and go off and like, you know, like, I don't know, go base jumping or whatever, or cave diving. You don't need that. That doesn't necessarily who this person is. I think you're going to be running into the higher, you know, and honestly, you might be thinking that this person is going to be just part 2 or a sequel to this person, and I don't think that that's the case. I think they will have similar qualities because this is a mutable person, this is a mutable person. This one is not going to be as, you know, excited for new ideas or expansion, things like that. This is an energy that would more likely avoid and run away, and this person likes challenge. So the energies would be the same, but if this person's avoidant and like just doesn't want to deal with things, it's not going to be like this with this one. So if you have to address something, this person may come at you, you know, and be honest with you and be straightforward with you. And I think that's why this 10 of Cups is happening. This is a winner. I think this is going to be a really good one for you guys. Just keep an open mind. And you know, at this point, you can have faith in yourself to know what is a red flag and what's not because of this person. So just have faith in your ability to see that. And I think that you will find this to be very enriching. Okay? So let me give you some advice cards, and then I'll move to group 4. What's the advice for group 3, please? 10 of Coins. Inclusivity. I was like, 10 of Coins, that's a weird one. Inclusivity. Bring this person into the fold, into the family, into the community. This is you know, letting everyone enjoy their, you know, feel present, let people feel welcome or feel like they're a part of something. This can also talk about generosity, but it doesn't necessarily mean generosity in money. It could just mean that be generous with your time, generous with your listening, you know. I think that you should probably try to be more inclusive. I'm going to take one card here, the Soul's Journey. Clarify the Soul's Journey, or clarify the advice for group 3, please. More advice for group 3 regarding this topic. We got a couple things happening here. Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Okay. I think that the way I should be seeing this is that it says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So in order to kind of make this, well, I think also this might be telling you to continue to work on the things that are helping you with your 6 of Swords. So this is saying continue to work on that. But also this is saying that you want to love yourself, and then of course see the problematic parts of yourself in other people. Because the thing is, it's not telling you to be pride, it's maybe telling you to be a little bit humble here, in a way that if you can love yourself and see your flaws in other people, but you can also see your own recovery in other people. You can see your own journey to a higher understanding in other people. So try to shift your perspective into other people, because they are just like you. They're living stories just like you. They're making mistakes just like you. If you and it's like you need to go easy on yourself, but you also need to go easy on other people as well. I feel like you guys might be very hard on yourselves, and maybe that's what's leaking out into, you know, these sorts of people, where you might fear getting the same thing again because you don't want to be angry with yourself again. So it's kind of like going easy on yourself, really, and having compassion for yourself and having compassion for other people, especially if they make dumb decisions. They're learning too, and they do change. So maybe this person had a past that you didn't like, but it might be showing that they've also taken the steps to improve themselves after this type of thing. So just keep it in mind, be inclusive, be open-minded. If you really feel something's a red flag, you don't have to do anything. Don't worry about it. I think it is important for you to meet a lot of different people, though, in life. And I think that's the message here mostly, is that you're going to need to, you know, open up your world a little bit and meet some new people. Meet the other side of problematic personalities. Like there's a higher expression of some of these things that you saw in this person. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and if you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want a private reading, I have $10 readings in my Etsy shop, which is in my description box. And I want to move on to group 4. Bye. Hi, group 4. This is for those of you that picked the diamond. That's your reading, or this is your reading. So we're going to take a look at past, present, future advice, what's happening in the next 6 months to a year. And this is a timeless reading, but when I do talk about time frames, I may list specific dates. You can just disregard those and just apply the time frames to your own timeline, like where you are right now. So let's see here. What is group 4's, whoopsie daisy, hang on. What past is group 4 coming out of? 2 of coins. What present are they currently in? Interesting. 10 of Cups, and then also the Hierophant. We'll take a look at this. This is interesting. Yeah, I'll just start here. Can we clarify 2 of coins? 8 of Cups. Alright. You had some kind of humdrum situation that you wanted to get out of, it looks like, with this 2 and this 8. It's like it was fine, but it wasn't fine. It wasn't fine for you. It was maybe fine for everyone else, but it wasn't fine for you. Whatever this situation was, it didn't have the growth that you were looking for. It didn't have the meaning or the spirit behind it. It was just maybe a means to an end, or, you know, comfort in the security or something. It was just like, yeah. Now, the energy that you're coming out of, I feel like this is what you wanted, but you didn't choose to do this. Because the 2 of Pentacles can talk about choices, right? But it also talks about the mundane things in life, like balancing checkbooks and part-time jobs and, you know, ingoing, outgoing, that sort of thing, checking your email. But 8 of Cups is like much more, it looks for spiritual advancement, and wants to leave the physical world behind. Thing about coins is coins represent our physical world, but with 8 of Cups, they don't really want that. So normally the 8 of Cups is someone who's like going on like a spiritual quest or a journey or some kind of retreat. They may be completely abandoning the things that are perfectly good in their life in favor of a higher calling, higher feeling, higher knowledge, whatever it is that's bigger than you. You're searching for it, or you want to search for it. And I think that's kind of interesting because your present, and I don't think that you took that chance. I don't think you decided to go that direction. Deep down you wanted it, but you didn't make that choice. And that's why I see that you might still be married. Maybe not married, but still attached perhaps to somebody. Now, if you guys were here looking for a singles thing, I unfortunately do not see this being singles, because these are two very committed cards. So if you feel like this isn't for you, you may want to check group 1 through 3 and see if you can pick again. There might be something that draws you more in, that resonates more. Sorry, but I'll continue here. So yeah, the current energy looks like you have a place, you have a community, you have people, you have establishment. Like, it's, by all accounts, you should be happy. You have it all, right? But for some reason, you do not. Let me check. I don't have this placement, but I'm going to pull a card for challenges, because this should be fine, but it's not for some reason. Can we, what challenges group 4 here? What challenge? Because we see the 10 of Cups, we see the Hierophant. It's order. It's things, well, 10 of Cups is real nice until it's boring. It's like when there's no more challenge. 10 of Cups is like happily ever after, right? It's like the thought of, like, we die and get into heaven, and then for the next like bazillion years you can sit there and eat the perfect food every day, and you have the perfect life and everything's perfect, and it's like there's no challenge anymore. And maybe that's what this is showing, some form of complacency. Like, it's not as hard as you want it to be anymore. There's no growth involved because you've already reached the pinnacle of growth in this area. And you've got it all established. Like, everything's fine. I'm going to check the challenge, though. Why are you feeling this way? What's the challenge? Please, for group 3. 3 of Swords. Wow. It's like maybe it's pain. I don't know. This is interesting because there's so many so many things. 3 of Swords. What's the challenge? Maybe you're thinking of someone else. 3 of Swords. Doesn't mean that someone's cut you deep. Sometimes you're worried you're going to cut someone else deep, you know? And just because 8 of Cups is here, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going on like an actual spirit quest or whatever. There could have been somebody that was better, not better, I don't want to say better. There could have been somebody that was more expansive, somebody who could really enlighten you, someone who could really maybe bring color to a dull world of the same old, same old. And here we are with the 10 of Cups and the Hierophant in the present, and the challenge in the present is the 3 of Swords. So maybe there is somebody else. Maybe the challenge is there is no challenge. The interesting part about this card, based on the booklet this one came with and the imagery, it has to do with self-harm as well. Like, the challenge is like, maybe in order to have the life you want, or spicier present, is talking about, you know, maybe you're kind of inflicting damage on yourself to create some change, and maybe not for the best reasons. Like, it's like starting fights over petty things because you're bored, but you don't actually know that you're bored out of your mind. You just start petty fights because you want something. It's like self-harm when you think about it. Trigger warning for people. People sometimes in that mindset, I'm not saying this is literally, take it literally, but it can be taken sort of similarly. that when people are in the mindset of causing harm to the self, there's two reasons for it: to shut the feelings out or to feel something. So when I see this as your challenge, I feel like this could be you stirring shit up to feel something again. Get in an argument to feel something again. You know, things are so fine or so comfortable or so placid that you're going crazy. You know, maybe you guys, are you fire signs or maybe air signs? Kind of thinking, you know, because it's like if an air sign is left to sit for too long, they let their mind just kind of like go and go and go, and there's no end to it. And if they let their mind get out of control, then they start thinking that, you know, having the Ten of Cups and having the Hierophant aren't good enough. You know, same thing with the fire signs. You know, you guys may not like to sit in one place. You may want to have some excitement in your life in some way. Conflict doesn't necessarily mean happiness, but also things being completely flatlined isn't living. And I can see where you're coming from here. But the challenge with this is that as a result of the way you feel, you could be self-sabotaging. Like, I think that there's a way, if you're really truly feeling bored, I think that there is a way to fix it. Maybe you have to leave, but I don't think that throwing the baby out with the bathwater is a good idea. Like, burning your bridge with this person wouldn't be a good idea. So if you're engaging in this behavior, you may want to be careful about your motives for doing it. Like you may not be aware you are stirring things up. Like, if you're in an argument with someone, you need to ask yourself, why am I fighting about this? Do I care as much as this person cares? Is this really something I'm going to be thinking about? Like, you know, whatever this discontent is this something that's I'm going to be thinking about 10 years from now, you know? So, and that's the thing, is you're going to want to be honest with yourself about why you feel this way and what you actually need. And I don't think that being hurtful towards each other is going to be something that helps in this way. Let me get the next 6 months. So what is the next 6 months in love for group 4, please? What's the next 6 months? Oh, okay, 7 of Swords. It's so interesting how these cards kind of like, this definitely seems like a singles crush type of reading, but you know, who comes along, the energy picks up. It's just interesting to see it in action. For as long as I've been doing this, I'm always amazed. So 7 of Swords is in the next 6 months. Well, it kind of looks like you're going to continue with this. You know, this could be a betrayal still. Doing things in a subversive sort of way, sneaking around. That's just what I'm seeing with the next. I mean, I wonder if you have someone already. Do you have a partner, like another person that you're already invested in? Because this could be saying that, you know, you'll continue doing that. And it's not to say that relationship with that person isn't right. It's just saying, why are you going about it this way? You know, that's the big question you're going to want to ask, is why are you going about it this way? Because this could become much worse for everybody involved if it sort of like is done like this. Because again, you know, you may be stirring things up. You know, you may be self-sabotaging the relationship, but you're also sabotaging yourself. Even if it seems like you're very self-motivated, you may not be realizing that it's kind of a double-edged sword here. So I think you should be careful about the ways that you're going about whatever you're going about. Now it's a general reading, and I don't know the exact things, and all of you might be different, but this could be just simply saying that some of your behavior, you know, there's a lot of psychology behind it, and you may need to explore that, because there's so many questions, you know, like, okay, so you're self-sabotaging. Why are you doing that? Because you're bored. And then you say, why are you bored? Well, because of the, you know, the relationship is flatlined. Well, why don't you leave it? Like, say you don't feel connected to your partner anymore, and then you say, well, why don't you leave it? And you're like, well, I'm afraid about money, kids, security, everyday life things. But it's not, you know, is there really no other way? You know, like, that's the thing, because this can burn bridges. This can be, you know, just hurtful beyond emotions, and it will leak into the real life. So, like, say if you had a plan to leave this person, you know, and you don't really go through with it, and you kind of put it on the back burner, and then something happens, and then you're forced out of the situation before you're ready, that's when the problems arise. So that's just what I'm seeing here. And of course, no judgment. Like, I understand that your relationship is probably kind of, you know, the soul needs a lot more things in life than just, you know, getting up every day and eating the same breakfast and, you know, having the same experiences. And if your partner's not on board with that and they want to live the mundane, it can be soul crushing. So I get this. I understand this. So don't think that I'm like, you know, but it's like, for karma's sake, I'm raised a Buddhist, so like from my perspective, I'm like, oh no, if you do this now, the next time it's gonna happen, it's gonna be worse, you know, like if I can give you some caution, you know, tell you to try another solution, that would always be good. Let's look at the next 12 months, the next 6 months after March. What's happening after March for you? Knight of Cups. All right. Clarify the Knight of Cups. I feel like this is your energy. Oopsies. 9 of Cups. Well, you may end up you may end up breaking away. What's the challenge in this time period? King of Swords. Okay, I'm not necessarily seeing that you're still connected after this amount of time. I'm not seeing that, and the reason why I'm saying that, because we have the Knight of Cups, and then we've got the 9 of Cups. So it's fulfillment. It's like you and this person have finally been able to be together, I guess. If there's another person, the third party, this is saying that you'll be finally able to be together. In other ways of seeing this, it could be that you're able to go and just live the life you want to live. The thing about the Knight of Cups is he's kind of like the handsome charmer, and he can go out and, you know, romance the ladies, and I'm not putting any gender on this at all, but he's kind of like, I give him the Casanova. He's kind of Casanova. So, like, you know, going out and sampling all the flowers and, that type of thing. Sort of just exploring, really. Emotionally exploring, maybe exploring with your sexuality, you know, whatever it is that you need to do, you could be doing that. And, your mindset is going to be good about it, because we have the 9 of Cups. So this is like your satisfaction, your wish come true. You know, this may be the life that you're ready to live, or at least, at the very least, after March, you'll be living a life that you feel content with. So whether that means you leave someone or stay with someone or go run away with someone, whatever the case, I do think that the energy will improve and you'll be happier in the sense that you'll either appreciate what you have if you need to, or you leave it if you need to. You'll feel happier then. You know, that's what I'm seeing here. And the reason why I think, though, it may be a separation, if that's what you really need, I think that it's because the King of Swords is here as your challenge. And I think that this is going to be the other party. If you're, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's your husband. It could be your wife, whatever you align with. But this person is pretty ruthless. I honestly think that maybe something Maybe, maybe something comes out with this Seven of Swords. Can I clarify the Seven of Swords? No, I don't think anything comes out. But I mean, whoever this person is, they're not a happy camper. I got Three of Cups to clarify if anything comes out with the Seven of Swords, and it's just like Three of Cups. So I think that you're going to probably continue to be with the third party, or continue to look or shop for a third party, or just be daydreaming and looking elsewhere for things. So I don't see that behavior changing, but I do see that. Yeah, I do see that this person's not a happy camper afterwards. So I think that you do end up making the change, or switching, or separating, or something, or going off for what you actually want. So in the end, there is happiness. So let's just hope that you do it with the least amount of fallout. Is all. That's my main concern when I give these type of readings. Is just like, worry about the fallout. You know, is it really going to be? You know, you don't want to make a situation just completely toxic if you can't help. You know, it's a difficult situation. To begin with, so it's just like trying to do the least amount of damage is the ideal. What's the advice for group 4? What's the advice for group 4? Four of Swords. Ooh, okay. Four of Swords can actually be a bit of a warning to take care of your mental health. Otherwise, you can literally go bonkers if you don't slow down. So it's telling you to slow down and to be aware of your mental state. So that's something that I'm saying here. If you're not talking to a counselor, and this is like resonating hard, you need to talk to them, because there's a lot of stuff going on with this that, you know, if you don't have the right person to bounce things off of, you may be kind of like feeling around in the dark, and you may not even realize that you're doing it, that you are feeling around in the dark, because there's a lot to this beyond, you know, oh, there's just someone else that you like. It's like, why are you going about it this way? Can say a lot and speak a lot of volume around what you're experiencing internally. So, for instance, you know, if you're worried about your security, why are you worried about your security? Do you feel insecure on your own? Are you codependent? Are you worried you can't do things by yourself? You know, you want to make sure that if you want to split off from this, that you can be independent, just in case, you know, some of this other stuff. And you know, that's the whole thing. You know, if it's something where you really are dependent on this person, there's no way around it. Counseling is a good way to do this, to see if there's some other way that you can maybe get what you need out of the relationship you're in. But yeah, anyway, if you need more detail on that, I have $10 readings on my Etsy shop, and if you want anything more in depth or more detailed, I can do it over there. That will be unique to you, but you know, it's up to you guys. So anyway, let me do one more card here for advice. What advice is there for group 4 about this situation? Trust. Accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Okay, so your inner voice might be telling you something. It's telling you to trust in your intuition as well. And maybe that's why they're asking you to slow down. They're telling you to slow down before you hurt yourself. You may fatigue yourself. You could be, you could cause depression or anxiety or something. So you want to make sure that you're just kind of slowing down a little bit, being a little bit more careful with your thoughts and where you're headed. But it says, trust, I accept my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So this is kind of indicating that you might have like an inkling about what's happening here, whether it's this may not be the best thing to do, or I know this person is for me, or deep down, deep down I know I can make my current relationship better. You're all going to be different. For those of you, though, that do have the deep down, I know this person is for me feeling, just be aware there are some synastry things that can happen with Neptune that will certainly make you feel that way, but it's a complete lie. So just be careful with that one. cautious of that. But for the most part, I think that, yeah, it's saying that there's something in you, your intuition, that feels like you know the answer, and you just have to take the initiative to go after that. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So I want to thank you for getting a reading with me, group 4, and if you want a private reading with me, you can get me on my Etsy shop. That is down in my description box below. I'm like stuttering. But I want to say thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like my work and you want to keep me going. I would greatly appreciate that. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next ones. Bye.